Let's move on to our next topic because in this story, a Canadian university decided to get rid of all the scales at their gym because they believed it was triggering eating disorders. And of course, after this occurred, a lot of people were saying, wait a minute, we're unhappy. And they even started a campaign on Twitter, #BringBackTheScale. And so there are two perspectives on this. Some people believe that scales force people to be obsessed about the number, which we always said is bad. Then other people said, you know, we just like to keep track of our weight loss.
You know what? Having lost so much weight and going through that up and down of gaining, losing weight, it becomes obsessive when I had that. I would weigh myself first thing in the morning, in the middle of the day, at night. If I gained 1 pound, I was giving myself hell. What did I eat? What? And just like I was going psychotic with it. At the end of the day, you got to give it up. You have to just know where you're at. Be healthy about it. There's gonna be some weight gain, there's gonna be some weight loss, but if you know that you're making healthy decisions, I think when it becomes obsessive, it becomes a danger.
Well, and so that's that, in that example, I think a very good reason to remove the scales. But then other people will say, well, I weigh myself once a week and I can keep track of my progress. I think that it can be either a positive or a negative depending upon how you use it.
Absolutely. I mean, if it's in schools, provide the education on how to eat healthy. And if they're having eating disorders, have someone there to help them out through that. Because it's very, very popular. If you're not treating the problem is still going to exist whether there's scales or not.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, that's a great point, but I would say ban the scales. You can ban them at the schools, and you can also ban them at the doctor's office, okay?
How about at home?
Okay, at home, too. I was just at the doctor's office the other day, and the first thing they say is step up on the scale and my blood pressure go up, okay?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sort of like you. I can't stand when my number goes up, I go absolutely. It drives me nuts. I can't take it. And it's probably more women than men doing that. Do you go crazy on the scale? You look like you might go a little crazy on the scale.
He hasn't been on a scale in a while.
No, I periodically will get on a scale.
How often?
I'd say once every couple weeks, once a week.
But
he looks like he's a scale guy.
So it's not, I think it's more.
Because for me, I'm also a physician. For me, I look at it purely as a number, just like blood pressure. You've got a lot of things that we pay attention to. And so if I do have, there are weeks where I might be up 3, 4, 5 pounds, and I will say to myself, okay, what did I do this week? Well, I wasn't as active, I didn't eat as healthy, and it's a reminder to me, but that's because I look at it from a medical perspective. I'm not looking at it as, oh my gosh, I can't believe I put on some weight this week.
It is an important number that you look at, just like your pulse, respirations, blood pressure, and if you had an unexplained weight loss, that's something that you would want to address and look into the reasons.
That's the one thing I will say, and Drew makes a really good point, and this is really important for people at home. Unexplained weight gain or weight loss is often due to a medical problem. And if anyone ever tells you, if you don't change anything, you're eating the same foods, you're just as active, and you're putting on a bunch of weight or losing a bunch of weight, you got to talk to your doctor. And so that's the one place where I will say a scale can come in. You know what? I lost 30 pounds in the last 2 months, and I haven't changed a thing. Your doctor's going to start worrying about very potentially serious problems. And that's very different than the psychology of becoming obsessed. I do have to
say something, though. In the last month, the Lose Your Belly diet, my husband and I are down 10 to 12 pounds, so I'm really excited about that. So thank you.
Of course.
Thank you.